Hey folks, back with one more coding interview question for a junior DevOps SRE roles. You're not for a senior role, you're not going to get questions like this, but for a junior role, you might. But the idea is the same anyway, because you're trying to make something happen live in front of the interviewers and whatnot. So the question today is make an Ansible playbook that will install Apache2 on an Ubuntu virtual machine. So that's what we're going to do today. If you like my content, please subscribe. That helps my channel grow and let other people get visibility into my channel. So here we are. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to actually create the virtual machine on GCP. That part is not part of this particular coding test. So you can ignore that part when I do this. So I'm going to, by the way, this, all of this that I'm doing now is actually in one of my public repos. So if we go to Mamoon001 GitHub, if you go to repos, I'll probably leave the link to this here, but there's Ansible Playground. That's where all the codes are for this. All right, so I have that cloned onto my machine. We go to that. One of the things I already have here is to actually install the virtual machine on Google Cloud. Again, that part is not required for this lab, so you can kind of snooze while I do that. Let's see, let's create that machine. It's just a gcloud command to create the machine. What I will do is I will not have a target machine. In Ansible, what you have is you have a control machine from where you run all the playbooks, all the roles and whatnot to other target machines. Those would be eventually would be your production machines. So in our case, we're not going to bother with target machines. The same machine that we have at the control machine, we're going to use localhost as the target machine. That way, I don't have to have five different machines running and figuring out SSH between them and whatnot. That way, it'll be quicker to show you the actual code and troubleshooting if we have to do that. So the machine is now ready to go. I will now SSH to the box, and I already have a script for that. Again, this part is not part of this particular lab, so you can snooze while I do that. Okay, so I have this here now. So I'm on the Ansible. I hope you can see the screen, read the screen clearly. I'm on my Mac. I don't have a big monitor right now. I'm logged into an SSH through SSH to a box in GCP, and that's what I'm going to use. The first thing I got to do is I'm going to install. I have to install Ansible on this box because it's a brand new box. So let's do that. Let me get a new tab going because I have. Let's see if it remembers the directory. Oh, that's cool. So I have. Again, this is not part of the lab. This is just setting it all up, just so you know. So install Ansible on Ubuntu. These are the commands I have to run to install Ansible on the virtual machine that I'm logged onto. So I'm going to move this up a little. Install Ansible.sh. These are the commands I have to run to install Ansible. And again, still not part of the lab. The actual lab will be the playbook. So let's make this executable. Install Ansible. That'll probably take maybe a minute or so. And then we can start with the playbook. Okay, still going on. Give it a second. In hindsight, I should have done this ahead of time, but it's good practice. Come on, Google Cloud, we can do fast on that. While it's doing that, I'm going to show you the repo that I have. This is the repo here, is Mamoon001 GitHub. If you search for Mamoon001 GitHub on Google, you will end up on this page. And if you go to repos, you will see Ansible Playground. And these are all the script that I've used in the past and will in the future videos to show you a bunch of labs that we're going to do on Ansible. The one that we're running right now is this guy. This is how you install Ansible on an Ubuntu box. Is it done? Okay, it's done. Finally, it's done. So now we have to create the Ansible playbook. I'm going to try and do this live. Vi install Apache2.yaml. All Ansible playbooks are YAMLs, so use that. So the way you do this, you always start out with 3 dashes. That means it's a new thing. You can have the 3 dashes is a way to have multiple playbooks in one file. In our case, it's only one anyway, so no big deal. Then we start with hosts. In this case, we will just say localhost. This is our target machine. Our target machines in real life will be a bunch of production virtual machines. In this case, to save money and complexity, I'm going to use it on the same box that I'm running this from. So in our case, the control host and the target host is the same. So when we actually run the playbook, it will run on this box. The next thing is you can give it a name. The name could be anything. Install Apache2 on Ubuntu. The name does not matter. Become is the key for being able to run commands as sudo. So we will need that to install packages. So we will do that. Once we have that, the next thing is, I believe it goes like this. Oh, no, it's trying to help. Let's see if this works. We may have to troubleshoot this. Tasks. So tasks, we have one task, first task. And you have to be very careful about where you put the dash. It has to be just 2 spaces from where it was to begin with. The task, the first task, again, a name. That's not going to work when you run it. But anyway, well, let's go with this for now and then see what happens. We can troubleshoot later. Install Apache2 on Ubuntu. Okay. Now, the thing we're trying to do is actually run an apt package. So I will say apt, and I believe, again, same story. You have to go like this. Apt. I'm going to go ahead and look this up, how to do apt on Google. But if you were doing this in an interview, if you have to look this up on Google, you failed. So in this particular case, I have failed in this lab because I shouldn't have to look this up, look up this simple thing. So we will do apt playbook. Ansible. I'm just looking. Actually, it's called a module because we're in the playbook. We're using a module. Apt module. Ansible. Okay, not that one. This one. I'm looking for the syntax. So there's all these various things we do. Name we already did, I believe. Yeah, we already did name. So what else we need? We need the package name. State, I know it's gonna come sooner or later. So we're gonna say key state will be present. Present means installed. Present, but we still haven't installed. I think it's a package or name or something. Is the option. State, purge, policy, name. Oh, name is the package name. Okay, so name. So let's go with name. I don't know why it does this. This should not be the case. It should be like this. And we will do name Apache2. I'm going to try to fix this ahead of time because I know this is not going to fly. This is just not going to fly. So okay. So once you think you have the code ready, you can do this thing called Ansible Playbook, Ansible-Playbook, and you give the name of the playbook. In our case, install Apache2, and syntax. check. Okay, didn't like the command. I believe it may be check syntax. Oh, syntax, spelling mistake. Okay, it actually likes it. That's pretty cool. Okay, so that's fine. It's giving you a warning because localhost is not, is basically saying localhost, we should be using all. If we had an inventory, we're not using inventory in this case, so we can just say localhost because we're just saying, look, we don't have an inventory file, just install this on localhost. So on this localhost. So that's done. Now we can actually run the playbook. Instead of syntax, we can do a check. Check means do not actually install, but actually do a dry run. So we can do a check, and hasn't complained yet, so that's pretty good. Yeah. So if it had actually run, it would have installed something. Right now, it's saying everything is okay. Change equals 1. It's yellow. That means it actually didn't do the change. Now, if I did not do this, it will go ahead and install Apache on this box. You see how it's showing install Apache on Ubuntu? It's actually doing that right now. Last time, because we had put check on it, that means do not install, just do a dry run. In this case, it actually did it. You see, it says change equals 1. I'm not sure why it's still yellow, but maybe it's just a warning that something did change. So that's done. So basically, our playbook here, let's do YAML. Let me go over it one more time. We're saying, hey, install this only on localhost. Name doesn't matter. To run this playbook, go ahead and do a sudo. That's what this means. Then you only have one task. That task has a name, and the task uses a module called apt to install Apache2 package on this box. So that's it for today, and I will see you in the next video.